What's happening, people? It's Nocturnal Thoughts. I gotta do a real quick recap video about the Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua rematch. Hold on, let me gather my thoughts. First of all, let me give 100% credit to Anthony Joshua and give him a congratulations for coming back, righting his wrong, and his victory over Andy Ruiz. The fight went the distance, and Anthony Joshua basically had a game plan, stick and move. He wanted to be Muhammad Ali-ish, float, not fly. He wanted to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and he did just that. There's no two ways about it. For the most part, it was a dominated fight. I can't say it was a clear blowout or where he just completely washed him the entire 12 rounds. Andy Ruiz had his moments. He had his opportunities, and there were a few shots that he landed that were similar and resembled the shot that he landed in the third round that caused Anthony Joshua to lose his legs, lose his equilibrium, and eventually lose that first fight. So he came back in tip-top shape, lean, mean, clean, 235 pounds. And he had a better punch resistance. He took some good shots, but for the most part, he jabbed, 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 and when it got in close, whenever the range was close, whenever Andy Ruiz was able to close the distance and get in range, he would tie him up. He did a very good job of tying Andy Ruiz up and not allowing Andy Ruiz to get loose and throw those Dr. Octopus punches. With that being said, I do have a few critiques. One, mind you, keep in mind, this has nothing to do with Anthony Joshua. This is just Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz stepping onto the scales at damn near 300 pounds is unacceptable. But he didn't look that bad in the fight. It wasn't like he was looking like King Hippo, where he couldn't, you know what I'm saying? He still had some agility. His feet weren't fast. He couldn't close the gap. But still, you know, 280, 287, whatever he was, everybody was expecting a leaner version, 260 pounds, 255 pounds of Andy Ruiz. So let me just get that out the way. For him to show up to the fight at 280 something pounds was a little bit disrespectful, honestly. I'm already hearing or seeing on YouTube some people saying, oh, he was paid to lose. That's also disrespectful. I'm not going to say that. You didn't hear that from this channel. All right. But nevertheless, the other critique, I have a few critiques, matter of fact, but the other critique, I can't blame this on Anthony Joshua either. This is more of Eddie Hearns. The fight being in Saudi Arabia is still going to take me some time to get over it, even though it's done and over with. You know what I'm saying? It's still where it was neutral territory. And in order for you to completely right a wrong, you sort of have to right that wrong where it was wronged at, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't cross the pond, make a grand debut, lose, and then reschedule somewhere else and win and feel 100% justified in righting a wrong. That's just my opinion. Don't feel hurt about that. That's just my opinion. As far as when it comes to war, like for example, in the movie Troy or in the real story of Troy, the whole point of taking over Troy was to try to get over the walls. Troy had the walls that you couldn't get over. And the fact that they couldn't get over the walls of Troy, they couldn't win that battle. So they lost that battle over and over and over and over. So what they had to do to win the battle was the Trojan horse. Saudi Arabia is sort of like, to me, a Trojan horse. It's like a little sneak tactic, sort of, in my opinion. But I don't take away credit from Anthony Joshua for that move. That was an Eddie Hearn move. Andy Ruiz and his team agreed to it. And it is what it is. It's just a critique as far as an asterisk by a victory. I still give you a victory. The Troy City still was down, still got defeated, but it had to get defeated where they didn't defeat it the way they would have liked to, which is going over the wall and taking it, right? Okay. A few more little critiques, and I'm going to get out the way. Like I said, one, the fact that he didn't do it back in the States. Because in the States, he was getting booed for a lack of action by the third round, so he said he went in for the kill. And he said that he would have felt so much better in his hometown where he had, thousands upon thousands of his fans supporting him. He probably would have fought the same fight that he had tonight, where he wouldn't have had so much pressure on him for the knockout. And that's my other critique. The fact that he never really hurt Andy Ruiz in this fight. He never put him down in this fight, and he definitely didn't knock him out in this fight. And when I'm talking about revenge, when I'm talking about righting a wrong, the man put you on the canvas 4 times. The rematch, I would have liked to have seen a knockout. And it was just so many times where the whole point of his plan, style of this fight was to do everything except for try to knock this man out. It was to basically be on his bicycle. And for me, I enjoyed that fight. I enjoy that fighting style. I like fighting either way, whether you're going to be Mayweather, Andre Ward, Bernard Hopkins, which, by the way, they got booed and trash talked their whole career for that style, especially Mayweather. Mayweather was so boring. Mayweather was on his bicycle. Mayweather always ran. Well, that was just a 235-pound version of Mayweather, in my opinion. I always gave Mayweather his credit and his just due. So I have to give, and you have to give Anthony Joshua his just due. But if you're one of those people that always critique Mayweather for that style and saying it was trash and he was a runner, then you have to apply the same thing to Anthony Joshua in that fighting style, especially when you're trying to get revenge from somebody that knocked you down 4 times and took your belt. In my opinion, that's not hating. That's just me saying my opinion as far as I give you credit, I give you congrats and applaud. But I would have liked to see the knockout in order for me to consider that to be revenge. You know what I'm saying? Probably don't. But what else I wanted to say on that? This is the last time I'm going to say, then I'm going to get out the way. Because I already know you're going to start hearing people bring up the conversation between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. And this is more than just my opinion, but this is honestly my opinion. I think it's very premature to bring up that conversation. And honestly, I think we don't need to have that conversation. Based on this performance and based on his original first performance against Andy Ruiz, I just don't see how anybody can still bring up the conversation of Anthony Joshua fighting Deontay Wilder. I just don't see it. And this is not to take away anything from Andy Ruiz, but Anthony Joshua, even though he looked so much better in this fight, he still had a few times in that fight where he looked a little chinny. There were a few times where he would get a little tired. He stayed moving, he stayed on his toes, but there were some times in the later half of the fight where I could see some fatigue setting in just a little bit. And He took some punches, but he did well. But he didn't do Deontay Wilder type well. He didn't. There was no point in that fight where I looked at him and said, "Yeah, he can take a right hand from Deontay Wilder." He doesn't look like that, and it's no disrespect. There's no disrespect to say he doesn't look like he can take the power of Deontay Wilder. I would like to see him fight a Tyson Fury and see how that pans out. But I know people going to just jump into this. Well, he obviously showed he can box and stay on his toes for 12 rounds, and yeah, he still's the man. He's still the number one heavyweight, and he'll beat Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's a bum, and this, that, and the third. I mean, I understand if that's your opinion, and I can't, everybody has one, but I just don't see where anybody's seen any glimpse of possibility of Anthony Joshua being good enough, strong enough, fast enough, brave enough to beat Deontay Wilder. Because I can guarantee you, you're not going to be able to dance around 12 rounds with Deontay Wilder like you just did with Andy Ruiz. That's just two different beasts. Talking about Andy Ruiz with slow feet, trying to close the gap versus Deontay Wilder, who is going to reach across the ring and grab you. So I know people are going to say that. I just want to kind of deaden that because, you can't compare Tyson Fury to Anthony Joshua, to Andy Ruiz, to Deontay Wilder, to Luis Ortiz. Styles make fights. And at the end of the day, when he fought Andy Ruiz the first time, him trying to go in for the kill is what obviously got him beat. This second go round, there was no point in time where he even tried to go in for the kill. Now, I remember when Deontay Wilder fought against Tyson Fury and it went 12 rounds. Keep in mind, Tyson Fury went down in the 9th round. Tyson Fury went down in the 12th round. They interviewed Anthony Joshua after that fight. And Anthony Joshua was like, I give him credit, no disrespect, but I'm in the knockout business. Well, tonight, you were not in the knockout business. You were in the boxing business. Like you said, hit and don't get hit. That was the name of the game, and I salute that. But I don't want to hear a whole bunch of wave of people saying, all right, let's get this Anthony Joshua thing cracking with Deontay Wilder. Because that's not what we talking about is King Kong versus Godzilla. It shouldn't be no, I'm going to just outbox Deontay Wilder. All this talk, all the hype that was surrounding the fight before you lost, that still exists. That's still what it is. When people watch heavyweights, yes, when we see heavyweights, we prefer to see knockouts. There's no disrespect, but we prefer to see knockouts, and you've given us knockouts. But when you fight Andy Ruiz, you had to box him to beat him. I get that. I understand that. I salute that. But not really to you, but to all your fans. Y'all just keep it reasonable and logical. It's respect to Anthony Joshua, and it's respect to his fans. But let's just be logical. Let's not go into Wonderland and say, oh, let's fight him against. No. Let him hold his belts and let's see who fights next. Whoever he fights next, I will support Anthony Joshua. But as far as when I look at who's the number one guy for the heavyweight division, it's Deontay Wilder. No two ways about it, hands down. And that's no disrespect. And it's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to try to debate it or argue it. It's just my opinion. Other than that, man, it was a great, great fight. And like I said, I give 100% respect and credit for that fight, and absolutely can't take anything away from that victory. It was well deserved. Excellent game plan, and it was executed perfectly. So you got to give props to that. I said I was going to give him a salute if he knocked him out, but I also said I would give him a salute if he dominated him, and he dominated him. So, nocturnal thought salute Congratulations to Anthony Joshua and all of his fans. I'm out. Appreciate you. Peace.